Hey everybody, it's another 10 minutes or less with AJ. I am AJ Jansen. Just wanted to check in once again with my comments on the government shutdown, the GOP government forced shutdown, and kind of say what I think's happening. It's not all perfect, I don't know everything, but I know enough to know that the GOP is really hurting America bad with this idiotic shutdown. What has happened now that it is day 4 of the shutdown, the GOP is scrambling or has scrambled to try to get certain aspects of the government back online, and that been pretty pathetic, to say the least. So we're talking $1.2 billion wasted because of the GOP Tea Party government shutdown. So it is time that we really start calling Washington, D.C. and overwhelming their voicemail system with phone messages. Needs to be done all across the country, not just from Minnesota, where I'm from. We need to let the senators and the congressmen all know that, we're tired of this. We want the government back up and running, people giving back their jobs so they can pay and make their bills. It's ridiculous that they decide to do something like this and then they go to a national park like the World War II War Memorial and insult the workers that are there, saying, you should be ashamed of yourself for not having this opened. But it was the GOP Tea Party's government shutdown that caused it to be closed. And you're blaming Obama and these government workers that have to do what you've basically done to them. So John Boehner and the rest of you terrorists, as far as I'm concerned, get back into the Capitol Hill and get these things back up and running, get a budget going. You're probably going to have to, well, you have to raise the debt limit. I mean, there's no doubt about that. There's nothing that can be done. It has to be done. Ronald Reagan did it 18 times, and every president since him has been doing it. It is a natural way of keeping our country running and keeping our economy rolling. If you don't do it and you decide to let this run for 21 days or whatever it was the last time, you could possibly spin our economy out of control again, like you did under George Bush and that 8-year debacle. It's time to let this country heal. Enough wars. We've had enough of that. That didn't work to get the economy rolling. All it did was make a bunch of rich, snobby, mean people even richer, and made America look bad again. You say you're against terrorism, but you have caused enough terrorism in this world by your constant wanting to bomb somebody. So get your asses back in your seats up at Capitol Hill and start passing some spending some bills. You want to earn that money that we pay you. Start doing what you've been paid to do. But remember this, justice is coming. And it's not the NSA. No, it's the people of the United States. Yeah. This debacle may have cost you the White House in 2014. You may have given Hillary the White House. You need to do a lot to regain the trust of the people. Now, I don't like the idea of Hillary being in the White House myself. I would rather see someone like Jill Stein in the White House, because God knows she's got more of a level head on her shoulders than either the Democrats or the Republicans put together. We need to move forward. We need to be progressive and stop fighting so much and start working out deals with each other. You were sent to Washington not to shut down the government and not to fight everything the Democrats do, but to work together, to be a part of the government that is able to work together like adults and make changes for the better of all of the constituents for the entire country, not just your area and not just your party. If you can't work for the people, then maybe it's time that you, John Boehner, step down. And Mr. Cruz from Texas, I think it's time you go home. You have wasted enough time in Washington. You've wasted enough tax dollars, and you have pretty much shown that you don't give a rat's ass about anybody but yourself. I'm really ashamed of our government right now. It is probably the worst I've ever seen it in my life that I've started since I started paying attention to politics when I was like 15. It's unreal that you guys can be so immature that you can't work together and get the job done to keep this country moving and keep jobs growing and keep the economy strong. No, you are just sabotaging it and making things worse. It's time to put on the big boy pants, roll up the sleeves, and work together. If you can't, then it's time that you resign. And that goes for the Democrats too. Maybe it's time for term limits. And it's time for us to amend the Constitution so it clearly states that I'm a person, not corporations. Because if corporations are a person, then this is my house. That's a person too then. Because that's the same as a corporation, as far as I'm concerned. It can't think for itself. It has people that have to do that. And you only get one vote in this world. So, time to amend that. Take care of it. And it's also time to legalize hemp. All right, get back to work, you morons, before we have to bitch slap you back to whatever state you came from. Anyway, to everybody else out there, call Washington. Tell them you've had enough. I know I'm over 10 minutes. Sorry, I lied. This time. We'll catch you next time. Just remember, $1.2 billion lost. Peace and love. Later.